Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to this unboxing of the Aeronautica Imperialis Wings of Vengeance box set. I'm going to get right into it and get this cling film off so you don't get this glare. Get rid of that. Okay, so we'll start with the cover. We have this wonderful thunderbolt and some orcs here. I'll show you around the rest of the box. So on the side we have a typical piece of artwork, more of the same, and I'm going to guess the last side is more of the same, and I'm wrong. It's actually the Thunderbolt fighter and the Orc Deka Jet. I don't remember the names. Let's have a look on the back. So on the back here we can see the contents, 2 Thunderbolts, 2 Marauder Bombers, which are those, 3 Deka Jets, and 2 Orc Fighter Bombers. We also get a rulebook, 2 reference cards, a double-sided area of engagement, some tokens, some dice, and transfers, because everybody needs transfers, or decals as we call them. Anyway, let's open this up and have a little look. Okay, we have our favourite, the large bubble wrap. Big bubbles on this one, no less. This appears to be the sprue for one of the bombers. An individual sprue for the bombers. I think this is the upgrade sprue to make it a Marauder bomber or destroyer. Another Orc sprue. A second Orc sprue. And the Thunderbolt Sprue, and some little flight stands there hanging on. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4 flight stands, so that will do us 8 planes. No, 5 flight stands. Some of these dice, which always roll 1s. A big bag of flight stands, those are bigger than I expected. A piece of cardboard with a picture on, and the planes. The rulebook here. Some tokens with numbers on one side, and not sure what they are on the other. The quick reference sheet with the movement diagrams on the other side. What I assume to be the playmat. We'll get these out in a second and have a good look. And the impossible to pull out decals. These look very handy. Anyway, let's have a good closer look at everything in that. We'll start off with the Thunderbolt sprue. See if we can zoom in. There you go guys, there's the Thunderbolt sprue. Apparently you can make a Thunderbolt Fury, which is a Thunderbolt with an Avenger Gatling cannon on. So they're new. I wonder if we'll ever see those in 40k. That'd be nice. Look at those little Hellstrike missiles there. They are beautiful. Next up we have these, which are the Orc Fighter Bombers, I believe. Lots of little details and gubbins on here. I love all these big bombs and missiles we can see. Can't wait to get painting these. Little cockpit there. They're actually 2 different hulls by the look of things, which is interesting. Not exactly the same, 2 different hulls. You can tell by this one has a more rounded cockpit. This one is your typical squared affair. Then we move on to what I believe is the Orc Deka Jets. Again, lots of little missiles. 3 wings on this frame, so I assume we can make 3 jets. Only seeing, oh no, there is 3 hulls. They are all different again, so the Orcs get a nice bit of variety in their planes. This one in first. This would be the main Marauder Sprue. Obviously you can build 2 here. The wings are 1 piece, aren't they? Yes. It looks like you just assemble them all together, and then on top of that you would use this sprue. See if I can get a little zoom on that. So I'm going to guess that this is the sprue that designates if your Marauder is a bomber or a destroyer. The other one I assume would come with the different tail boom and all the different weapon options, but we can make the bomber out of this sprue, which is handy because I like both. Moving on, we have this nice little bag here with gubbins. Let's open this up. Intriguingly, these are all wrapped individually. I think they're all the same. If I just move them aside, I'll show you one. These are really stiff plastic. Okay, so inside here, see if I can zoom in. You can see the base is quite big. We've got a paint pot for comparison. Here is your typical wash, so that is quite wide. The dials are built in, quite stiff. A little bit bright there. There we go. Yeah, they're quite stiff. I thought I'd have to assemble these bases, to be honest. So you just oh, they're loosening up now. A couple of spins with your thumb, and they loosen right up. So that is the little altitude and speed designator, the base, I believe. I may be wrong, I haven't read the rules yet. So we have our typical dice. These are the world's worst dice. These will always roll a 1. Should we try and get a little example? I knew it. But we did get a 6 and 2 5s. They probably rolled about average, to be fair. Next up are these flight stands. Let's see if I can just poke one of these into that base for you to have a little look. Hold on. Here's the base, here's the flight stand. How stiff are you going to be? Not very stiff. So that comes in and out of there quite easily, but not so loose as it will fall out. There we go. Important information there. Moving on, we have a decal sheet with the Marauder bomber decals here, Thunderbolt decals here, fighter bombers here, and Deka Jets here. Notice you get the little flame motifs if you don't fancy painting them, but I can pretty much guarantee that painting them will be easier than trying to lay those decals on, unless you have a lot of decal softener. I like these numericals here, they're very snazzy. Okay, next up we have this, and this is the playmat. How do we get this out? Well, this has done me a good one. Normally you have like a little tab you can pull up. There it is. I was just being blind. Quite a big tab. This is quite large. It's going to take up the entirety of my table. Strange thing is, that's actually square. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try and get it in. It's the same length as the width. And in all the artwork I've seen, this thing, I do apologise, this thing was actually just a 3x2 piece, like this, folded in. Which is interesting because that's just made the game better by giving you an extra 3 tiles, as it were. It's a 9 tile layout. Obviously we had the cityscape on one side. We have this lovely bombed industrial outpost on this side. I think this looks absolutely tremendous here. And over here, there we see a little dead Warlord Titan. Zoom in on him. Warlord Titan is carped it down there. I do apologise for all the shaking. It's like a genuine war zone. A Bane blade over here, which has met its demise. A Valkyrie here, I believe, and some random outposts. And there's the old Aquila strong point. if you're familiar with one of those. I think we've actually painted one of those. If you have a look, you may find a video for it on my videos. So anyway, it's actually a 3x3 play mat, not a 3x2. So the value of this has just gone up in my book. Next up is the movement diagrams. These tell you which movement you can do. These are to do with your flight aerodynamics. What's the word for that? Your maneuverability, that's the word I was looking for. So it shows you where you can go and which direction you can end up facing. And a quick reference sheet here you can see. I'll just hold that into shot so you can have a good look at that if you fancy having a read. There you go, might brighten that up a bit. Anyway, moving on. Another look at the tokens here. I'm not going to get these out of the shrink wrap because they want to go everywhere, but what I will do is zoom in so you can get a better look. I don't know why I tapped the tokens. Never mind. So yeah, I don't know what these little fuel gauges for. Does that mean you're out of fuel? Who knows? We shall see. And then finally, to complete the package, is the rulebook. We'll open this one up. The rulebook is what is holding the instructions. I'll do a separate video where we go through the rulebook and have a good look. Get rid of that. Okay, so here you go. Here's the rulebook. It's quite a thick tome. Wonder what you get in here. Just some artwork, a bit of fluff. Basic rules, squadron lists. There's no fluff on those cards. Oh, I do apologise for a bit bright. Tells you about the turns, movement, how to fire. Lovely artwork in here. Really like these pieces. Situations, the end phase, tail gunners, how to end the game. Some scenarios, some squadron lists, that sounds interesting. The Imperial Navy, the Thunderbolt. Nice that we get a little bit of fluff in here, always handy. This is brilliant. This is what I wanted to see. Know your enemy. We've got the Deka Jet in here. That sounds interesting. Belching smoke. Pair of big bombs, always handy. Another section of movement diagrams. Okay, so that's the rule book. Instruction manual for the fighter bomber. You may be interested. We'll just take you through this quickly. Looks nice and simple. These instruction manuals are quite a lot easier now. Someone will probably magnetise that turret there so it can spin in the mount. There we go, it is that easy. Optional bombs, big bombs, custom big shooters, rockets or wing bombs. It says not to glue onto your base there. Orc Deka Jets. Yeah, we can see those. These look nice and simple again. Lovely artwork here. I say artwork, it's a CAD, isn't it? Even the little exhausts are separate pieces. I think they look wonderful. Cannot wait to outfit these planes with these bombs. Next up is the Marauder Bomber. I've got this one page then. So here you can see the two sides go together. Maybe it's helpful to build your Forge World Marauder Bombers using these pieces of information, as I remember their instructions were very sparse. The heavy bolter turret there. As cannon turrets. I do apologise for my squeaky door behind. Yep, so that's the Marauder Bomber. Next up is the Thunderbolts. This is probably the one you've all been waiting for. It is me anyway. Shows you the different Thunderbolts here. There's the auto cannons and there's the Avenger cannons. I think I fancy the Avenger cannons because Avenger cannons are awesome. And obviously you have your changeable payload underneath there. Look to be missiles or bombs. You can have it either on a long stick or a short stick. And again, another Another quick reference sheet, you've already seen one of these. And it's just a piece of cardboard which shows you the completed planes in the box. That is the Fury with the yellow wings there. See the Avenger cannon, and that is the autocannon Thunderbolt. And that concludes our look at Aeronautica Imperialis, Wings of Vengeance. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.